The activities I'm involved in, so for sports, I play football, I wrestle, I run track, and I play baseball. And then for fine arts, I am in concert choir, chamber choir, jazz choir, and I do the spring musical.
I would describe Ryan as a person that's pretty hard on himself and expects really good results and works really, really hard to get those results, and knows that his time is really valuable and limited, so he budgets his time well because he's involved in so many different things. He's just kind of picky about how he does, but he's really easygoing and good to be around for the other cast members to kind of play off of. He's not hard on them at all, he's just hard on himself. And fun, and he just has fun with everything he does.
Very active. He moves around a lot. He does a lot of, along with singing, he does a lot of physical things in different musicals that he's done.
As an actor, I would describe Ryan as a character. He's really good at playing those big, exaggerated characters, like when he played George in the Drowsy Chaperone, who was this big, funny, worried character, or when he played Sebastian in the Little Mermaid, who had a silly walk and stuff. He's just really funny as an actor, and he's a good character actor.
I was probably just in middle school. My mom she kind of forced me to do band and choir just because she thought it'd be good for me, and so that's kind of how I first got into the fine arts and acting and stuff.
So I would probably say that it really started singing in church, and then from there we encouraged the kids, all of them, to try something in addition to sports. So I think that was another thing, as we said, you should do some choir, some band, something else in addition to that, just to get a different experience.
The first musical that Ryan was in that I directed would have been Les Mis, and he was just one of the many extra people.
My first time singing and acting with Ryan was during Les Mis. We were both revolutionaries, and we had to go on for the ABC Cafe. And we were told that we had to be really, really, really excited for this scene because we're gonna start a revolution. And so all of us would get backstage, and Ryan would like give us a pump up speech, and we'd all get like super excited backstage and then go on and sing. So that was really fun.
First play I was involved in was Les Miserables, my freshman year, and I was a sailor where I had to buy a prostitute, and then I was a convict on a chain gang, so that was fun.
Backstage before every show, he always like is super like nervous, excited. I don't know what it is. He's backstage and he'll like dance and like jump around and like do some high knee jumps, and like he'll go run a lap. Like he's just really crazy, and it's really spontaneous on stage. He kind of just does what he feels like, and it works really well.
Before a play, I usually get pretty pumped up. I get pretty excited. Some of the other people in the musicals in years past have gotten kind of freaked out because I kind of do like a wrestling sort of warm-up thing, and I get all hyped up and I just get ready to go because, I don't know, I just think musicals are just a time to have a lot of fun.
I always liked watching him and Sam do Cold Feet when we did Drowsy Chaperone. That was a really fun song. And he's a good dancer too, so, which none of us expected because he had never danced going into the Drowsy Chaperone. But that was always a fun scene to watch because it's such a cool song, and it was just him and Sam up on stage, so that was really fun.
My favorite part about choir and the plays would have to be just getting to know new people. I've made a lot of really good relationships over the years, and it's been a blast, and I'm so happy I just chose to do it.
The moment that sticks out most to me about Ryan being on stage is when he was a freshman, and the very opening scene at the docks when the prostitutes come out at Les Mis, and he's one of like the sailor guys that has to notice the ladies, and just his lines and the way he delivered them, and knowing that he was a freshman, and just his interaction was just funny during that whole section, and I won't ever forget that. That was funny.
My favorite musical memory was probably last year during the Little Mermaid. I don't really have a specific memory, but it's more, I got some of my friends, Paul Ryan, Mitchell Lodgy, and Andrew Lodgy, to do the musical, and it was a blast. It was awesome.
Him performing Under the Sea in Little Mermaid, that was one of my favorite things that he's ever done. I liked it because it just was a neat scene. It involved a whole lot of the actors all together.
My favorite memory on stage, there was one rehearsal for The Little Mermaid where me and Ryan were doing a scene together and we're supposed to be super serious. Like, I'm supposed to be really mad at him in this scene. And we just kept looking at each other and like laughing. And I don't know why it was so funny, but we couldn't stop laughing. Like during a dress rehearsal, we're just on stage like trying not to laugh, and we got off stage and laughed so hard. And so it was just a rule after that where we like couldn't look at each other. We had to like look off of each other because if we looked at each other, we'd just laugh.
Just the whole thing, Sebastian last year in Little Mermaid, and his little accent that he had with the character, and how he just brought that role alive.
The advice I would give people who are just starting fine arts is just stick with it, have as much fun as you can, and for those that are like questioning, oh, I don't know if I should do it. Like I know my freshman year, I wasn't sure. I was a four-sport athlete in middle school. I was like, I don't know if musicals are really for me, but Mr. Wilkins really encouraged me to do musical my freshman year, and I mean, I'm so happy going to do it. Since then, it's been a blast. So just give it a try.